Good evening, intuitives. Thank you for all the views. Though there's a lot of older videos that people aren't watching, and they should. Some of them had, decent amount of views too. I'm just saying, if you're new to the channel, there's some older videos that did well a while ago that have some good stuff in them, and they could use a watching, not just the latest stuff. But I appreciate all the views and new subscribers. Hi. And to answer the question somebody asked, do I have an Instagram? No, I don't. I have this channel and I have a Facebook. And some of you have found me because it's not that hard. Because if you watch my videos on the bullying and hazing and retaliation I endured at the Arlington County Fire Department, there's news segments and news articles that I'm featured in, and in there within is my real name. So, not hard to find. The closest thing I have to an Instagram would be my old modeling portfolio, which I'll dig out soon because I need to do a video about it's like a narcissism and slash intuition video, and I'm going to be telling stories from my time in that industry, so I'll tie it in. That's the closest thing I have. I'm a young lad in that though. I'm like 16 in most of those pictures. Well, in the profile pictures, like in my late teens and some of the magazine ads I did. But that's the closest thing I have to an Instagram. But I'll dig it out. What the hell? As you noticed, because a lot of you have been watching them, a lot of my more recent videos have been pretty heavy. So I wanted to lighten it up a little bit right now and do more of a lighthearted INFJ video. But it's something that's important, and it's obvious to some people, but not to others. And it's an important video to watch for those of you that, feel like you want to date or get close to an INFJ. So this is going to be important for you. And you saw the title, but now it's time for me to say it. INFJs are bad texters. We're bad. We're bad at it. We are bad at it. And there's a lot of reasons why. Well, the biggest one, in my opinion, is because of our overthinking. Now, why are we overthinking? Well, an INFJ overthinks the shit out of if somebody's into them when they're in person, because we got to overthink everything and we assume the worst. And, a lot of us, especially when we're younger, our self-esteem ain't so good. And, there's usually like narcissistic people that are trying to keep us down because they see us as a threat to the status quo, where it's like, can't let that become in power. Got to discredit that. People start listening to that. My whole world could crumble, Got to keep that charisma down. That's progressive change over there. We want status quo. Sort of like that, pretty broad way to describe my years growing up here. But we're bad texters. We overthink, and given our introverted intuition, our dominant function, we're very good at reading people, but we need to look at people's facial expressions, look into their eyes, see their body language, the tone of their voice, all that. We can't do that through a text message. It's like, I have words on a screen. What do they mean by this? There must be a deeper meaning. What does she mean by this? Does she really like me? Why is she asking me this? Why did she reply this way? Who's looking over her shoulder and reading this? I want to give her this information, but, does she have an audience right now? And the answer is probably yes. Yes, 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 and yes. Girls are bad at that. Guys share everything with each other. INFJs are private people. Sharing stuff with like one good friend that you really trust, their judgment, fine. But, when it's a whole group, there's going to be people in that group with ulterior motives. Yeah, every time. Just say it. So that makes us not such great texters. And, it's important to note, though, if you are with someone who is an INFJ and you're getting close and you're texting all day and the INFJ is continually getting back and really engaged, that means he really likes you, because we don't like to do that. So if the INFJ is okay with a week-long textathon, yeah, they're into you. No doubt about it, because we're not just going to do that for anybody, because we don't like to. It's just not who we are. INFJs prefer, to speak in person because, again, read people, eyes, facial expressions, body language, tone of voice. And it's a lot easier for us to use our intuition, and then we might overthink less. Not overthink, less, because we're always going to do that. But also, INFJs like to match the affection of somebody when they're showing affection towards us. Like in my personal experience, well, I know ENFJs are very affectionate. ENFJs give all of themselves in a relationship. They're all or nothing in that, like us. So a lot of times they get hurt because they're the one putting in all the effort in the relationship. They're the ones always being affectionate, and their partner's not being affectionate unless there's something in it for them. That's why INFJ is like seeing in person. It's like, oh, I like this ENFJ, and oh, she's gonna hang on to me and stuff. That's cool. I'll I'm fine with that in public. We can announce to everybody what's going on. That kind of stuff makes it more comfortable for an INFJ to open up. And I know that kind of doesn't make sense, but I'm saying if someone who we think is into us is hanging on us in front of a group of people for everybody to see, then even the INFJ is like, oh yeah, she likes me. I'm good. Over text, we're going to think like, is she leading me on? Is she doing this to try to hurt me? What game are you playing? That kind of thing. We're going to INFJs are always thinking, what's your end game? So, the idea of somebody or multiple other people reading what we write makes us nervous and paranoid, and we fear going too deep. And also, though it's true INFJs are good at writing, yeah, we're good at writing, but we're not brief. So in something like a text message, brevity's a problem for us. And also, as you've seen from my videos, I change the tone of my voice and I'm very sarcastic and all that a lot. Can't really convey that over a text message. So, you might be trying to be funny to someone who's into you because they like your sense of humor and they've laughed at everything you said thus far, and you try to convey that in a text message. It may not land, especially when there's, people looking over her shoulder that don't want her talking to you, going like, no, and say, I was right. That it's not status quo stuff like that. So it's just more things for the INFJ to have to worry about because we're nervous enough already opening up to people given our trust issues and everything, and taking away that ability to read people, to get that instant reaction of their response to whatever we say, especially if it's like, text back, what's taking her so long? Uh-oh, I better reread this 10 times. What did I write that was stupid? What did I write that was taken the wrong way? Something was taken out of context, or maybe even like the INFJ is like, well, wait a minute, that's not the thought I tried to convey. And of course, if something doesn't land, unlike in person, we can save that. We can see the reaction and be like, oh, they took it the wrong way, and fix it. And text message, yeah, not so much. And it's just too much unknowns. I mean, obviously, that's how communication is going to start between two people, but INFJs certainly don't want that to drag on too long. And what I mean by this, too, it's important to note, when an INFJ is in a relationship with somebody they care about, yeah, you can text all day long, but I'm talking specifically in the instance where you're first getting close to somebody, like that chemistry's there, that sexual tension's there, and you're trying to decide if you want to be together. Yeah, that's when you can't. You gotta like give the INFJ some face-to-face time, or they're gonna overthink so much and wonder if they can open up. Like I said, if we are doing it, texting back and forth to somebody new for days, yes, it means we're into you. Please talk to us in person so we can read you and stop overthinking. And although the easiest way to make an INFJ stop overthinking when you like them is to grab them and kiss them, and if that's too unsubtle, just snuggle up to us. We like that. We may be quiet and reserved, but we like to snuggle. It's a thing we do. So, and if we snuggle back in public, then that tells you everything you need to know. It's like, I'm the introvert. Yup, I'm with her. I don't care what you say. That's another important part. You don't have to hide in text. If an INFJ is into you, they don't care who knows it. They don't care. We don't care. So if you get an INFJ to the point where the INFJ is into you, you can tell anybody. INFJ is not going to care. What you do have to watch out for is the INFJ. If you and an INFJ are like, oh yeah, let's be together, we have something. The INFJ is going to be like, well, this is between us. Like, don't be letting anybody else's opinions in here. It's like, I don't care who knows, but there's going to be some people who don't like it, who feel that they have the right to, voice their opinions or even tell you what to do. Don't let that happen here. So, if you go to an INFJ and talk to them and you want to be with them and the INFJ agrees, make sure that whatever you have going on, other types, is just between you and that INFJ. And if it isn't, at least be honest about it with the INFJ. Don't lie to us. We really don't like that. And we see through it most of the time, or we eventually do. So we'll be honest with you. You can ask us any questions you want, no matter how intimate, and we'll answer them. We'll probably ask you the same question back, but yeah. So don't do that over texting either. If you really want the deep shit early, go deep with the INFJ. If you go deep with the INFJ in person, the INFJ will follow suit. You try to go too deep too fast over texting, you're like, something's not right here. What's going on? Who's asking me these questions? Why does this suddenly feel like an interrogation? And that might cause the INFJ to shut down because, if you're going real deep via texting, the INFJ is going to be like, why can't we talk in person? Or why can't she at least call me? Like, this seems odd to me. And that'll cause the INFJ to, again, overthink more and perhaps start giving very brief answers. It's another good sign. As bad at texters we are, we're bad at brevity. So an INFJ is really into you if not only they're texting back and forth, but they're writing long text. Like, I want them to know all this and make sure it's in the right context. And I want this not to be taken the wrong way. Like, I really like this girl. This is bullshit, but I'm going to go through with it because, damn it, it's what I got to do. It's another sign that the INFJ really does like you. Yeah. And another thing is you want to like go on a textathon with the INFJ, you start it. Another weird thing about us with texting, we don't ever want to be the one where it's like, oh, I'm ignoring her. If we're into somebody, it's like, okay, she's got to stop doing this because I don't understand this all that well. And, hard eyes. And I don't know, when to stop. So if she asks me something, I'm going to answer. So yeah, the other type has to be the one to like say goodnight or something because the INFJ is like, yeah, the INFJ is sitting there like, okay, I think I'm good. Don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Just keep in mind, if we're going through with a textathon, it means we really like you, as I've said. But it's also important to note that we don't find people we like all that often. We're not to like go out to the bar and be like, I'd go home with her and her and her. And it's like, intuitively reading people like, man, they're hot, but the personality's just not there. The shadows with no substance and 6-inch heels and mini skirts. Oh, the curse of demisexuality. So stuff like that. I hope that cleared up to why INFJs are bad texters and in what situations. As I said, once that connection and that trust is formed, you're good. INFJ will text you all the time because they know, it's not a question of how you feel about the INFJ anymore. We know. So it's like, I can say anything to her. And even if I say something stupid, she really likes me. But it's when that connection is first being formed that we're really going to second guess everything we text and, second guess everything we say too. You'll see us, something doesn't land, but it's a story for another day. Again, hope that helped. Trust your intuition, INFJs. If someone's texting the hell out of you and what they're writing, they're probably into you. So go for it if you want. And, keep your integrity intact, INFJs. You can always be the one to ask them to talk in person first. You can. I know it's scary as shit, but I've done it. You can do it, and make sure to ask the right questions, INFJs. If the intuition's telling you like something doesn't feel quite right, ask those questions that can clear up if something doesn't feel quite right. Yeah, something doesn't feel quite right. Because if something doesn't feel quite right, something most likely isn't. And then you get hurt, usually. You could be wrong, but it doesn't happen all that often. Good intuition. So please like and subscribe, watch the older videos. I hope this lighthearted video is a nice little change of pace from all the heavy shit I've been doing lately. Help spread the word of, the channel. Share these with people you think they will help, because that's why the channel's here, to help people and provide people with information that I wish I had 15 plus years ago that I didn't, and thus my life experiences went accordingly. So let's save that for everybody else who's been in a similar situation to me and those of you that watch these videos. All right, see you soon.